In my time of tutoring, I have observed a pattern that many students who get confused with functions is because they don't understand how to find the gradient of a linear function. But today on this video, I'm going to show you how to find the gradient of the graph when you are given two coordinates that passes through a straight line. Now, remember guys, a gradient is the steepness of the graph. When your gradient is positive, it's going to be an increasing graph. When your gradient is negative, it's going to be a decreasing graph. The most important thing is how to find that gradient. So when you are given two coordinates like this that passes through a straight line, the formula that you must always use in order for you to be able to get an accurate gradient is this formula that says that change in y divided by change in x. Now, but in most cases, whenever I give this formula to my students, most of them, they also struggle on how to use it. Now, so let me just break it down to you using this example so that you can be able to understand how to find the gradient of the graph. Now, so you use this formula when you are given two coordinates. Our coordinate is this, and our second coordinate is this. Right? So we have to substitute these coordinates there on the formula. How do we substitute it? So what I usually explain to most of my students is just that since the formula says that y2 minus y1 is equal to x2 minus x1, I usually tell them to just start writing x1 here and then also write y1, and then down here they are going to write y2 and then x2 and y2. Now, in this way, this is going to be easy for you to be able to substitute what? To substitute your point. So on y2, you're going to substitute this -5. And then on y1, you're going to substitute this -3. And be very careful, guys, now on this formula. When you're substituting the negative number, you have to make sure that you open the brackets like this. And then you also have to substitute your numbers that are down, which is x2, which is this one, which is 4, and then x1, which is what? Which is -2. Now, so if you punch this on a calculator, you're going to get -1. So let's just do some few examples that you can be able to understand how to find the gradient when you're given the coordinates. So here's our two examples. You can pause this video and try to find those kinds of gradient using that formula and see how far you understand this kind of stuff. So from here on, we're just going to first write down our formula. And then after writing down our formula, we're going to substitute our points. So let's just write down our points here. Our first point is this. And our second point is this one. So I told you to be for this formula to be easy for you to understand, you just have to say this is your x1 and this is your y1, and then this is your x2 and then this is your y2. So this way, this thing is going to be very, very simple for you. So now you are ready to substitute your points. So let's just substitute all our points. So here is all my points. I substituted it. This is 1 minus 4 and then -1. Which is this one y2, and then 5, which is this one y1. And then if you punch this on a calculator, you're going to get -2. So by this gradient, we can see that our graph is negative, and obviously when it is negative, it's going to be a decreasing graph. So another thing that I want you to observe when you're using this formula is that when you are given a line like this, when it's a decreasing line, just know that your gradient is going to be negative. So when you do a calculation and you don't get a negative, it means that you didn't calculate well your gradient. So let's just take a look at our final example. So from here on, we're just going to first write down our formula. And then after writing down our formula, we're going to write down our coordinates. To make it simple, you just have to name it before we substitute. This is going to be x1. And then this is going to be a y1, this is going to be x2, and this one is going to be a y2. So then we are ready to substitute our point. So let's substitute it. So here's all my point. I substituted it -2 and -4 as it is here, and then the x as it is here. So and then if you put your calculator on this one, you're going to get your answer as 3 out of 2, and which is positive number. So then you can be able to see that this one is a correct thing. So this is how, guys, to find a gradient when you are given two coordinates using what? Using this formula, which is y is equals to change in y divided by change in x. So on my next video, I'm going to describe to you what is the gradient of the graph when you have something like this. And what is the gradient of the graph when you have something like this, of this line? What happens actually? So make sure that you watch my next video so that you can be able to learn more. So see you on my next video. Sharp.